Peace, y'all. Peace, peace, peace. Okay? Make sure you share. It's going to be a lengthy live, okay? Make sure you share, family. All right? The topic of the day, we're doing a deep dive into security interests. A deep dive into why you should quit your job, okay? All right? I went to the store today and I was driving through downtown and I seen, like, you know, people getting up early for work. And I seen guys, you know, doing different jobs. And then I just thought to myself, man, they have no idea why they shouldn't be doing that. All right? Can everybody hear me loud and clear? Can everybody hear me? Make sure everybody can hear me. You said I have a twin every time I come on here? What you mean? Alright, cool. Alright, so yeah, so as I'm going through downtown, I'm seeing people working hard, and I just remember, you know, this is the uplift, y'all. This is not to me to demean anybody or put them down. I just remember, you know, doing them construction jobs, you know, having those light, bright uniforms on the side of the road, people driving by. I really didn't know what the hell I was doing, okay, just really standing around. Okay, but I remember making $15 an hour, and I remember telling myself, long as I get my 40 hours a week at $15 an hour, that's pretty good for my rent. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's very low goals. And you don't know they're low goals because you're around other people that's, you know, that tell you, hey, you're doing good. Because you're making 15 now. In 3 years, you could be at $23. And it's like, man. Not to toot my own horn or anything like that, family. As y'all see, I've been running the business for quite some time. I remember being a worker and saying, yo, 6 figures. You make 6 figures? Man, you make 6 figures, you're good. You're doing good. But imagine taking 12 months to make 6 figures. And this is not a beat down session, family. I'm gonna give y'all the solution, but I'm just building up so we can dive into the security interest. Okay? Now think about it. All right? Some people say 6 figures a year is good money, because they always equate it from where they're from. They say, well, where I'm from, 6 figures is good. And I'm just like, 6 figures a year is good nowhere inside of the United States. Okay? Yeah, maybe in a third world country. All right? But here, no, my friend. 6 figures a year. And now, again, I'm saying this just so y'all can kind of count my pockets on, because I'm not here to hide anything. I'm here to be transparent with people. Okay? All right? I remember making about $800 a week working, all right? After taxes, be like $600. You know, then you start doing 600 times 2, 1,200 times 2, $2,400 a month. I remember making $2,400 a month, and really being around people that didn't make that, and I really felt like I was doing something. For sure, Nina's Biz, for sure, peanuts and popcorn. All right, for sure, peanuts and popcorn. All right, I remember my business, my Hood Consumer Advisor business really started booming. I remember, I think it was my 3rd class I held online. All right, and again, y'all, I'm telling y'all this to be transparent. Okay, I made $113,000 for a 1-day event. All right. No sponsors, no help, okay? I literally created an Eventbrite, created a class, and we was talking about endorsing force. It was like one of the first ones. I remember making $113,000 for. I think the class lasted like 8 hours. If y'all If y'all been following me since then, y'all remember my class used to be long as hell. It was no breaks. It was no 2-day events. If I said I had an endorse and force class, literally, we on that class for 8 hours. I remember, like, I want to say 6 or 7 months into teaching, people had to remind me to take breaks. Y'all remember that? Like, people had to remind, like, hey, can we go take a break? I'm like, oh, shit, because when I get to flowing, like, I don't think about breaks. I don't think about no water. I don't think about food. But then I had to remember, like, damn, my bad, y'all. Let's take a break. But now now I don't do that anymore. You know what I'm saying? Now, yeah, I don't do it no more. But I'm saying that to say, I went from being a worker, right? And I'm going to give y'all everything so y'all can really understand my journey, because I'm going to get into the security interest. Don't worry. All right. I still got about 2.5 hour drive. So we good. Okay. All right. So I went from making $600 to $800 at a job a week. All right. I remember trapping, you know, that's kind of fast money. You couldn't really equate that because it was so fluctuating up and down. All right. So that was kind of like your gas money, your quick bill money to keep in your pockets. All right. So I wasn't no kingpin or nothing like that. All right. So all that. So I remember when I first started teaching, third class was $113,000. So it was a huge jump. Now, I did not have my business set up all the way correctly. All right. It was really some raw dog. Let me get this information to the people. All right. And let me put a price on my time. All right. And people respected my time. People respected the price. I didn't have a lot of people that said they regret all. I never, you know, I didn't have that. All right. Because all the information that we was going over was information they never really heard before. Okay. So keep in mind. So stay with me. All right. So year 1 of me teaching. All right. For one class, I made $113,000. Okay. By year 2, my company had already generated over $2.2 million, family. Okay? And again, I'm letting y'all inside of my pockets because I really want y'all to understand how powerful information is. You don't got to go make no damn, no offense to anyone. I'm just saying, no offense to anyone if I say this. You don't have to go, make clothes. You don't got to go be a hairstylist. You know, you don't got to do all these things that's cost you labor and things like that. You can literally sit down, learn some information, and be able to provide this information to the people that don't know it. More people don't know this information than people that do. And there's even fewer people that can really piece it together. And there's even fewer people that has experience and results. All right. So I fit all those criteria. All right. So in year 2, my company had already made $2.2 million. So at this rate, I'm already understanding, okay, my business at minimum makes $1 million a year. All right. I can honestly say that from a minimalist standpoint. And again, I'm telling y'all this because it didn't cost me anything. Okay. It did not cost me anything. Do you not know that was all off of creation? Okay, let me create the name. Let me create the class. Let me create the setup. Let me make sure I didn't have a blueprint well, I can say, yeah, I did have a blueprint. I remember going to Umar Clark's class. I went to a Brother Truth class just to see how their presentation was. And that's kind of how I got my understanding. Like, okay, this how I would have mine. So yeah, I did have a blueprint. All right. But as time went on, as time went on, I made sure I put a price on my time. Now, you had some people that were saying, you're charging all this money just to tell us free stuff? Yeah, the information is free, but my time isn't free. And this is what I've been trying to teach y'all for the last 5 years. It doesn't matter if you just learned it. Okay? Your time should not be free to nobody. All right? To no one. When you understand that, you'll start to see money in a different light. Okay? So again, now we're in year 5? All right, we in year 5. I'm not going to tell you how much my business made so far, but just understand those first 2 years, all right, we was able to go over 2.2 million. All right, it got to one point of time that I had an overhead, meaning employees. I had an overhead of $20,000 a month, family. All right, I was paying people $20,000 a month to run my business. Let me say that again, because I can't even believe, you know what I'm saying? Because, like, what? I was paying $20,000 a month to have people run my business. I didn't know my overhead was so damn high because, again, I didn't have a business coach. Not blaming it, it's my own fault. I didn't have no business coach or nothing like that. By the time I did get to a business coach and I told them how much I'm paying for employees and things like that, y'all should have seen their face. Okay? Now, I don't regret anything because everything is a learning curve. All right? But now today, I've been able to. Now, it wasn't 20,000 to one person. I had about 5 people, all right? So, between 5 and 6 people, all right, overhead was 20,000. So, I went from paying 20,000 a month, okay, to paying 200 a month. Okay? And this is going through trials and tribulations, you know what I'm saying? You got to understand, letting people go isn't the easiest thing. All right, letting people go isn't the easiest thing. Now, you got to understand, some people build a lifestyle off that. All right? And you got to remember, when you come in, now you're trying to cut your overhead. You know, you might be ruining other people's lifestyle. You got to remember, some people have been building a lifestyle for the 2-3 years. All right? And more people that's added, you know, they're going to want more. I've seen it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just kind of letting y'all know, you know, have some discipline about yourself, especially about your business, because you don't want to be carefree just giving people money just because they feel like that's what they're worth. And again, I don't have everybody that's done business with me was amazing. I'm just telling y'all, if you ever have deal with someone, all right, they'll always come to you and need more. Okay? Now, let's talk about what we came here for. Why you don't need a job. All right, because that's why I said all that to say. All right, because you probably ask you, well, where's my money going to come from? All right, first of all, you need to learn some information that a lot of people don't know. That means going through trials and tribulations. That means doing things that majority, if not all people, are not doing, and that's reading your contract. Okay? Next, I want to say, on all contracts, the reason why I was literally working at that construction job or a forklift job, every payday, I would literally take majority of that money and just start paying all my bills. That's what 99.9% of people do with their paychecks. All right? They take that paycheck, they cash it, they deposit to their bank account, and then they start using that bank account to pay their bill. That is incorrect, family. That is not how we're supposed to be doing. All right? That's not what we're supposed to be doing. You're supposed to be accepting the debt and turning it into a credit. You're not supposed to be paying a debt with income. There is no law that says that, family. All right? So those that are at work right now, those that got to go to work tonight or this afternoon, all right? I understand you think that you have to get that money and take it to a bill, but show me the law that says that. All right? Somebody said, show us how you do it. Guys, I can show you exactly how you do it, how to do it, and you still won't know how to do it. If somebody showed you how to build a rocket one time, you would not know how to replicate it. It's not really show me. I wish it was that simple. Like, hey, here's my bill. This is how I fill it out. This is how I write my tender of payment. This is how I do my bill of exchange. This is how I do my first wave. This is how I do my second wave. My notice, my follow-up to let them know they haven't responded. My follow-up to let them know that I sent them a notice of claim of security entry. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's not something to show. It's something to learn. Now, granted, you gotta show it. I get that. All right? But what does that do? Somebody asks me, man, show me 100K. I show them 100K. Show me $1 million then. You know what I'm saying? Like, what does that do for you? You know, I don't know if that's the question is to ask, you know, well, I just need to see a physical replication. But I tell people your physical replication is in your contract. Your contract is literally telling you what I'm saying in word form. I'm trying to paint a picture. Now, granted, none of these acts have pictures, family. Ain't no pop-up books with colored crayons and things like that. All right? It's not that. It's black and white laws. And it's talking to us as adults. There is no law. There is no contract law for dummies from the government. You know what I'm saying? So I get what you're saying, like, show us. I have to teach it. I got to explain it to you. All right? A lot of people can see things and not understand it still. All right? We see trees every day, and we decide for some reason to cut them down. All the time. But anyway, all right? So security interest. This is why you don't need a job, all right? This is why you never needed a job. You don't need a job today, you don't need a job tomorrow, and you didn't need a job yesterday, okay? Why? Because the very bill that you're getting that paycheck to pay on is already prepaid. The problem is you have not completed the transition, or should I say the transfer. You have not completed the transfer. Okay, you have not completed the transfer. They sent you a bill, all right, meaning the banks did what they were supposed to do. They paid their interest. The banks pay interest every first of the month. It comes in a bill form, all right. We take it as a payee, all right. We take it as a holder, meaning we can transfer assignments after we complete our delivery, all right. The only way to complete a delivery is by accepting the bill. All right, meaning not trying to peek at the bill because you're scared that it's a high bill and you just want to hurry up and get the money. All right, and then when you think about it, it's almost like we're traumatic, ain't it? It's like if we have the money, we'll go look at the bill. How many of y'all, when you don't have the money, you don't even want to look at the bill? I know I wasn't the only one, because in my mind, I knew what the damn bill was. I knew that bill said $1,500 in my bank account only had $150. There was no need for me to look at that bill. It ruined my day. Yeah, but when you got that money, let that bill be $200 and you got $2,000 in your bank account. You're gonna be like, oh, let me go ahead and pay this right quick. You see what I'm saying? That's trauma, family. That is trauma. All right, the first is next week. Some of y'all don't have the funds in your bank account to pay your bill next month. You ain't even gonna look at it because you're traumatized. And I'm telling you, you're not even supposed to pay it. All right? Ooh, this is a good example. Did y'all see that? Did y'all see the guy that got bit by a snake, but he thought it was a poisonous snake, so he cut his finger off? Turns out the snake wasn't even poisonous. And I was like, yo, he watching too many movies. He trying to be too much of a man, okay? He done cut his damn finger off, and it wasn't even that's basically doing something that's literally going to the extreme. All right, now imagine not even looking in the bill and thinking, oh my gosh, I gotta go pay this. Yo, no you don't. It's already paid. What are you doing? All right, what are you doing? Why are you putting extra OT in? Because it sounds good to the other workers. That don't sound good to bosses, y'all. I'm sorry. All right, I remember being a worker, and I used to be so insecure around people that were bosses. All right, because what the hell could I say? All right, it's just me asking a bunch of questions. Hey, what do you do when you do? Hey, what could I possibly tell them? And now, the life that I'm in now, getting around workers, of course I'm going to try to help as much as I can. But a lot of time workers, they like to try to control the conversation. And it's like, hey, shut up. Listen. Let this be a teaching moment. All right? Because if I was a worker and I seen somebody doing something, I would simply say, listen, I don't even need to say my whole life because I'm a worker. You understand how it is. All right, what do I need to do to basically have the lifestyle that it looks like you're having? Some people feel like that's hate. Some people feel like, cause I do that quick. All right, I never had to do it, but I for sure would do that. All right, if I seen someone, you know what I'm saying, they look like they have the type of lifestyle that I want. Again, it don't gotta be, hey, I want his life. All right, it's type of, damn, I want his type of freedom. He seems like he's able to go on these trips. Damn, I'm always seeing him. He's never look like he's at work. You know what I'm saying? Damn, he's always on social media, man. He's giving us some information, man. I like how damn, how do I get there? Instead of saying, man, he doing him, I'm doing me. You know, I'm good. You know, I make good money. And I be trying to tell people, no, you don't. If you are working a job, you're not making good money because it's imaginary money. You're using it to pay bills. It is an egotistical thing to tell yourself, like, you ain't gonna tell me what I'm doing. I'm telling you what you're doing. I did it. You're going to work, you're taking that money and paying a bill. That is incorrect. I don't care how much you're making from doing it. But, you know, people feel the need, okay, to tell us, I like my job. No one asked you, did you like your job? We asked you, if you knew the bill was paid, would you still be going to work? It's like so many people have cognitive dissonance. Like when they hear something, they just like, I love my job. Like, man, I didn't ask you that you love your job, okay? You don't love your job, all right? Let me ask you that when all your bills are endorsed. Let me see if you still gonna be there on time, rushing to work on time. Let me see, because I think all of you, unless you're working with kids or animals, all right, y'all is gonna quit. That's why I said, as soon as you learn this information, you're not going to want to be at work. You're going to put all your time into this because it only takes 30 days. It takes less than 30 days, all right, to stand up for your rights. All right, my first wave is 10 business days. Second wave is 5 business days. Third wave is 72 hours. That's less than 30 business days. A lot of people say, I'm trying to quit now. Are you? Are you? Or are you trying to wait till you get to a certain amount before you quit? Don't that sound like somebody that says, as soon as I get to 10 bands, I'm going to start me a business. How long has it took for that 10 bands to be sitting somewhere that you can use? Y'all ever notice that? And again, I'm here to motivate y'all. I'm here to keep you on the right path. I'm here to push. All right? I'm here to push. How many of us said that? As soon as I get about 20K, I'm going to quit. How many trappers done said, as soon as I hit me 100 bands, I'm out. I'm out. I'm done. boy, you ain't never seen 100 bands. Boy, you moving out of QP, you ain't never gonna see 100 bands. You see what I'm saying? Or somebody says, boy, you make $15 an hour, you ain't never gonna stack no 10,000. You know how long that's gonna take? What? Stop. All right. That's why I'm trying to say, yo, you can save all the money up you want. Do y'all not know how easy it is to spend money? Have you ever saved up money and then as soon as you saved, you'd have no emergencies going on? It's just like all of a sudden the family just start hitting you up. Oh my God, they put me out. I need you. Now you got to get this. You know what I'm saying? Somebody goddamn just got a wreck. Now you got to get them that. Now that by the time you look up, you got to start all damn over. I know I'm not just talking. That's why I'm saying sometimes you got to, Nike was a fool with that slogan. Sometimes you just got to do it. All right? Sometimes you just got to just do it. Sometimes you just got to quit that job and just say, hey, man, my back against the walls. All right? I'm about to read this information. I'm about to take bruh classes. I'm about to be in all his Sunday meetings. Okay? Because he said I got 30 days to learn this. And I'm not saying that to rush. I'm just saying that's what I did to myself. I don't like to tell that story because y'all remember at first I'm telling y'all, don't quit your job. Don't just abruptly stop paying your bills. All right? Continue to pay your bills, all right, to give yourself leverage. But I stopped paying all my bills. What? I remember when I first started, what? I went cold turkey. I'm talking about cold turkey. I started sending out 1099s wrong. Alright, because I'm like, but the thing about me was I didn't know the court process. I didn't know the court process. So I was like deboing them on the private administrative process. I was hitting them with the civil penalties of 15 USC 1611, I believe. It's supposed to be double the finance charge. Yeah, but like now that y'all follow my page, you can get the court process and the private administrative process as well. Yo, you should not be saying, I plan on quitting my job and still be working in that job 6 months from now. Some of y'all been saying you gonna quit. You've never quit. You still making them kibbles and bits. You still trying to hold on. And I understand I gotta be the guy to be kind of, you know, vulgar with it. Because I see a lot of people that's kind of being too kind with y'all. Like, you know, it's okay to have passive income. Yo, real bosses, you don't start by having passive income. You create one thing that you master, and from that, you're able to create other things. All right, that's how you do it. All right, that's how you do it. You don't be trying to do a bunch of things at once. You don't be a jack of all trades before you're a master of one. Okay? And a lot of people say that I just be talking and I'm just, man, don't believe them, y'all, don't. And I always say these people suffer from an IDRD. Okay, y'all know what an IDRD is? All right, they suffer from an don't read disorder. Okay, I literally have to start making disorder. You know how hospitals just be creating shit. All right, you know you got all these different disorders and shit. So I say, you know what? I'm gonna create a disorder. I'm gonna call it the IDRD, or I call it IDRS. All right, I don't read syndrome. All right, now how does the symptoms look of an IDR patient? All right, this how it looks. All right. Someone that hears something and say, man, that ain't real. Man, that ain't true. This is someone that suffers from an IDRD. I don't read disorder. Okay? And it's almost incredible that this has not been classified yet. All right? Now, am I a pioneer for scoping this out? I'm going to say yes until I see more discoveries. All right, but yeah, you literally have IDR patients, all right? Or should I say IDR runaway patients, all right, that have opinions on things that they should not have, all right? Now, I understand that I've reincarnated and came back many of times, and that's why I've accepted my mindset is right and other people's are wrong, all right? Because I'm aware that I'm aware that I'm aware. Okay, I'm aware that I'm aware that I'm aware. Now, some of y'all might know what that means. Okay? And when you really understand how many people suffer from an IDRD, you'll start to see like, oh my goodness, this is the walking dead. Right? This is the land of the dead. Yeah, this is the American dream is supposed to be here, but this is American nightmare because we have too many IDR patients. I'm about to start saying that so much. Y'all gonna start saying it. Watch. Do you suffer from IDR? Do you suffer from IDR? What is that? I don't read symptoms. Do you read your contract? Before you got your house, did you read your contract? Before you got that apartment, did you read your contract? All right, let's check. All right, that's a symptom of IDR. Are you going to work to pay bills? Yes. All right. Now, why? What is your purpose to go to work to pay bills? You ever ask somebody why they go to work to go to work? They almost look at you like you're crazy. All right. Be like, why are you going to work to pay bills? They be like, what? What are you talking about? If I don't work, I don't eat. Then they get into all this survival shit that you really don't care about because you're a boss. All right? You know, I gotta do this, because if I don't do this, my kids gotta eat. My kids, like, shut up, Frank. You go to work and hide in the bathrooms for 12 hours. Stop. Okay? Stop. Stop acting like you damn saving the world. Like, y'all husbands is in the bathrooms hiding, watching ESPN on their damn phones. And somebody walk in the bathroom, they picking up their feet. Grown-ass man, all right? I used to do it. Right? And that's what I'm saying. But when you challenge these folks, they'll tell you up and down, nah, no, man don't work, man don't eat. Man don't work, man don't eat. Like, shut up with that. All right, we're not living in the Stone Ages anymore. These Fred Flintstone, body bedrock folks. God, they might well be pedaling on our damn feet. I gotta do this. No, I gotta do this. All right, I got to. If I don't do this, nobody gonna do it. Like, what? And y'all know where we got that from? Our parents. You know why? Because our mamas and our daddies drilled that shit in us. I'm going to work. I'll put food on that. I'll put roof on hat. Man, so by the time you get grown, you like, man, I can't wait to say that to my kids. And a lot of y'all do that right now. Man, I know. Somebody said I'm hiding right now. I know, man. We got to get y'all up out of there. I know. I used to be the same thing. I used to have me a nap spot. I used to work for this company in Rockford, Illinois. Man, every day from 4 to 6, I would take a nap. Oh my God, I would be behind, like we deal with like sandbags. I'd be behind like 100 sandbags, sleeping in between them. Yeah, I know, you just trying to kill some time. I know, y'all, but we really think we're winning. Because we like, damn, I didn't do shit today and I made some easy money. No, we literally wasted a whole 24 hours ducking and dodging like little kids just to make $250 for the day. And sometimes it has to be said out loud. No one has ever told me this, y'all. All right? I told myself this, like, yo, I ain't winning. I'm over here ducking and dodging and hiding for $200 a day. You see what I'm saying? That ain't winning. And we be thinking we be getting over. No one should be working. All right? And it's so frustrating being a boss and hearing people's reasoning why they gotta work, as if you didn't have to work before. I don't know who need to hear this, but I've been broke as shit before, y'all. I done manipulated women. I done used women for their cars, their places. I done house hopped. All right, I done been the brokey of the brokies, crummy, bummy. All right, bummy of the crummies. Ooh, crummy. All right, yes. And I also had a gift of gab. Imagine having a gift of gab and being the crummy. Okay? All right? So I know what those guys is thinking. I get it. All right? But today, I can honestly say information removes the crummy and bummy thoughts. It truly does. All right? It truly does. You stop trying to get over on people. All right? Better than this, y'all. All right? We can do better. Now, let's go ahead and jump into it. All right? So, security interests. All right? Make sure y'all share it. Make sure y'all share this, family. Make sure y'all share. We're about to get into the class. All right? Now, security interests. All right? So, let's go all the way back. All right? So, let's use somebody as an example. For the person that's at work right now, we're going to use all y'all as an example. Everybody that has a job right now, okay? Everybody has a business and you're using that money to pay a bill, all right? Let's think about it. No matter if it's a business bill or your estate bill, all right? You sign that application. Comment 8 as we go. 8 means yes, 7 means no. Okay? Everybody that's watching right now, for any bill that you sign, all right, did you give an application on the bill that you're paying on? Comment 8. We're going to do this together, family. We're going to get up out the dungeon together. Okay? Comment 8. If you are at work right now for the purpose to pay your bill. Comment 8. If you are running a business right now for the purpose of paying a bill. We're all in this together, family. Comment 8. All right? Those that participate end up being great. I'm trying to tell you, comment 8. All right? Now, let me ask you this. At the time, I want you to put your mind at the time that you gave that application. Somebody said 7. What are y'all 7s talking about? So y'all aren't at work to pay bills. For those that are 7s, why are y'all at work? What is y'all's reasoning? For those that commented 7. For those that commented 7, I'm really intrigued. All right. So those that commented 7. Okay. All right. Okay, I see what y'all saying. Okay, cool. All right, now, for those that have a job, for those that run a business, every payday, if you take that money and pay a bill, I want you to comment 8. All right. Now, let me ask y'all this. At the time that y'all submitted that application, let me ask y'all. I want y'all to comment what you think happened to the application. Let me say the question again. At the time that you gave the application, meaning I want you to go back in time, in your mind frame, where did you think the application went after you submitted it? Y'all, somebody comment. Comment your answers below. The question is, after you submitted your application for that bill that you're paying on right now, where did you think that application went after you submitted? All right, so at the time that you gave it, you thought it was cashed in, okay? They made money, so I'm asking, did y'all know that at the time, family? Listen, fam, I know y'all gonna say the right answer now, okay? At the time that you submitted the application, where did you think it went? Not your now. Exactly. There we go. DMore6652. I never thought about it. Thank you. Y'all that's comment Federal Reserve, y'all that's comment, y'all did not know that shit when y'all gave the application. That's what I'm trying to say. At the time that you gave, where did you think the application went? For y'all that saying, I knew it went to the Federal Reserve window, well, why are you paying on it then? You see what I'm saying? Like, that's even more idiocy. So you knew this at the time you gave it to it, you're still paying out your pocket on it. Or you never sued them. You see what I'm saying? We didn't know. We didn't know at the time because we didn't care at the time. We only cared about, is we approved or are we denied? At the time that we gave that application, we were just worried about if we are approved or are we denied. Somebody said, Ether said, I thought they threw it away. Because that's what they tell you, don't it? Don't it be like, oh, after 30 days, we discard it. After 30 days, we shred it. Don't they say that? No, at the time. Yeah, we didn't think that far. We just gave and we was twiddling our damn thumbs. Hopefully our credit score was high enough to get approved. It's almost like we was in a waiting room. It's like they took our baby left, and we just in the weight room like, what's about to happen? Are they gonna give me my baby back? And they come back and say, fortunately, we're gonna be unable to extend you your baby back. But there is a number you can call if you want to reach out to TransUnion or Equifax and see what's going on over there. By the way, we do appreciate you for your baby. Thank you for your consideration. All right, but again, unfortunately, we can't give you your baby back. You know how many people walk and say, darn, all right, and leave? You just left your baby. You just left your baby. You just walked out and just said, damn, let me go work on a new baby. Oh my God. This is where trafficking kids come from. You can't traffic a kid if the kids ain't thrown to you. Y'all throwing these people babies. It's a baby trafficking mania going on. You get a baby, you get a baby, you get a baby. Y'all don't care about kids. Y'all don't care about kids. Y'all don't care about them. Every time you walk away from the credit, you just gave them a baby. And they gonna raise that baby until the true owner comes. And sometimes the true owner never comes. All right, but back to it. All right, back to it. We didn't know where the application went, which is a huge problem. All right? We didn't know where the application went. So let's talk about where the application went. All right? A lot of us don't understand because a lot of us suffer from an IDRD. I don't read disorder. Okay? Meaning we did not read the Federal Reserve Section 16. All right? Federal Reserve. Y'all make sure y'all write this down. Federal Reserve Section 16, Part 1. It literally tells you any Federal Reserve bank may make application to the Federal Reserve agent for the amount of the application given. I hope I said that like all the way. I've read that so many times. I don't got it in front of me, but I'm paraphrasing, but hopefully I'm saying it word for word. All right, because that's how much I read it. All right, but yeah, it says any Federal Reserve bank. All right, so how are applications created? A lot of people don't understand that the investor is the people. All right, meaning you all that are looking at me right now, you are the ones that are the investors to this economy. The banks are not investors. They are not investors. I want y'all to really think about that. The banks are not investors. They are borrowers. Okay? You gave them an application. They borrowed it, took it to the Federal Reserve window. They got the line of credit that you asked for. You didn't even know that what you asked for because you was thinking your credit score. And that's why I kind of stopped people dead in their tracks when they started talking about credit score. I just be like, So no offense if I ever sound rude for any of y'all that we talk personally, and you start talking about credit score. And hey, listen, we're not going down that route. All right, we're not going down that route. All right. Okay, so you're right. Yeah, exactly. They're borrowers and brokers. Do you want to be called a broker? Some of us might think that sounds amazing. But think about what a broker does. Just think about these terminologies. Lesser. You're a broker. That sounds like broking. Like you don't have any money, so you need other people to come together to make it happen. So you get paid. Y'all see how we breaking all these titles down? Y'all probably say, yeah, I'm a broker. Yeah, you're a broker. You're a broker. Yeah, you're not an investor. You're a broker. You need an investor. Okay? Did you know investors don't need brokers? Did y'all know that? Did y'all know investors really don't need realtors? Did y'all know a lot of y'all have useless jobs? You're useless. When people really learn this stuff, you're not going to have a job. Okay, so all you uppity folks, I'm a broker. Man, it's only a matter of time, all right, before you don't have no job. Okay, No broker knows security interest. Most banks don't know security interest as well. That's why you got to sue them and bring in attorneys. All right, they got to bring in attorneys. Y'all ever realize that? You ever actually sue a company? You're never going against the company. You're going against the company's attorneys. So you're going against another middleman. You see all these middlemen? It's like he got a middleman for him being a middleman. He's a middleman for the middleman. He's the attorney for the middleman. The attorney is the middleman. All right, this middleman mania. All right. Did I ever do a UCC process? Hell yeah, family. Remove the lien off my payment processes for sure. UCC, I did a UCC 3, did a termination first. All right, then I came back and did a UCC 1. All right, yeah, you got to sue. For y'all that ain't suing, you're never going to get results. I'm going to say it again. For y'all that aren't suing, you're never going to get results. So it's not that the process doesn't work. It's that the fact that you didn't piece together two halves. There's a private administrative process, that's the first half. And you have a public administrative process, which is the court litigation. That's the second half. You got to put two halves together. All right, so let's get back to it. All right, so remember, your application went to the bank. The bank had to give it to their finance department. The finance department sent it up to the CFOs. The CFOs then, every day, they send over all the applications that investors submitted to the banks. And the CFOs turn those into the Federal Reserve window, family. All right, it's a beautiful picture when you can picture it in your mind, because every time I talk it, I can picture it in my mind. I just picture a person giving the application getting in the hands of the bank turning around, giving it to the Federal Reserve window. The Federal Reserve window takes that application, and then they exchange it and give Federal Reserve notes to the bank. The bank's supposed to turn back around to the investor and say, hey, I have your line of credit. But that is not how it's going, family. That's how it's supposed to go. That's how it's supposed to go. All right, that's how it's supposed to go. The application from you to all right, I'm gonna say it again. It goes from you to the bank, to the bank, to the Federal Reserve, from the Federal Reserve back to the bank, and it's supposed to come back to you or your estate or your trust if that's what you're using. How does this work? Can y'all hear me? Y'all can hear me? Can y'all hear me? All right, cool. All right, so again, I'm gonna say it one more time. So again, so we gotta follow the application, family. Stop worrying about your credit score. Stop worrying about your credit. Stop worrying about your credit report, period. You know what I'm saying? Because when you focus on that, you lose sight on the security interest. All right. Now let's focus on the application. All right. We're gonna put let's put a tracker on our application. Let's build it visually. All right. I'm gonna speak it. Y'all try to visualize it. All right, we're putting a tracker on our application right now. All right, we're going to a dealership. All right, we're submitting that application. Where is that application going? It's going from the dealership salesman to their finance department. You gotta remember, dealerships need banks. Dealerships are the do boys to the banks. The banks are the do boys to us. So so you can say the dealerships are our secondary do boys. You see what I'm saying? So the dealers, that's why the sellers in the dealership, they're so scared of the banks. Y'all ever realize when you go to the dealership, they almost as if it's the bank's car. They be like, oh, the bank don't like that. They only like people that have this, and have this. If you have that, they like things like, I'm like, I don't give a damn what they like. Frank, you better send my application through. Care about what they like? They not investing in me. I'm investing in them. You see what I'm saying? You got to change that whole aura. And again, the salesman don't know this. Why? Because he's at work. He trying to make a living for his family. He don't know shit. You see what I'm saying? He don't know a damn thing. He trying to get some. He trying to get some. What is it called? Salesman. When they get commission. Yeah, he trying to get a commission. He's not the guy to change the world. Okay, so we going past him. All right. So I see somebody that said application with application online. That's fine. All right. What you're gonna do is call up there before you apply. Get the buyer's order. All right, get a buyer's order. In the case of a home, get the purchase agreement. All right, because that's just like the application. All right, because you're going to take that purchase agreement, add your tender of payment, add your intent of the transaction. Okay, add your claim to security interest on the purchase agreement or buyer's order. All right, now when I come forth and send that to the finance department, I'm giving them 10 business days. Of course, I know that they're going to get the documents and say, what is this? We don't understand this. It's not quote unquote traditional business. Now, let me tell y'all this. Ain't it sad that doing things the lawful way is y'all hear me? Think about that. How many times have y'all went to an establishment, tried to utilize your rights, and they said, yo, that's not in our policy. That's not in our policy. We do things the traditional way. All right, y'all might got to come back in. Still froze? Alright. How we looking now? Yahweh. Oh, they don't understand what we sent. Oh, I was saying, basically, ain't it sad that when we go and try to use the law, that these companies say things like, no, that's not the traditional way of doing things. Ain't it sad that the law is looked at non-traditional? That's how long we've been doing things wrong, y'all. Some of y'all might got to come back and leave the live and come back if it's freezing. All right. Meaning, every time we use the law, okay, they tell us that's not in their policy because we don't know how to enforce the law. Law supersedes policy. I'm going to say that 2 more times. Law supersedes policy. I'm going to say that 1 more time. Law supersedes policy. Yes, you can go back to reclaim security interest, but let's stay focused on what we're talking about, family. Don't start licking your chops just yet. Okay? All right? Now, our security interest. All right? Remember, we gave it to that dealership. That dealership gave it to the bank. The bank went to the Federal Reserve, and that's where they got the line of credit from, using our estate's name or our trust name. Okay. Now, by the time the bank comes back, and that's why I'm telling y'all, this is one amazing country to live in, because we're like one of the only countries where you can just walk into a bank and get credit like this, slap of your fingers. You can generate credit in minutes. I got approved for $34 million in minutes. When I seen that, I'm like, oh my goodness. Never going back to work? What? I'm about to try to master this. I'm about to try to master this right here. You mean tell me I just talked myself into an approval of $34 million? I didn't show them no bank statements. I didn't show them none of that. Oh my goodness. That's what I'm trying to tell y'all. Like, it's really levels to this. You can believe it. You ain't got to believe it. You got to remember this. A lot of people aren't looking for validation from people that don't have resources. Let me say that again. A lot of people don't care about validation from people that don't have resources. All right, y'all remember that time I told y'all somebody tried to challenge me and say, well, show me 100 bands if you really, and you know, I didn't have to, but I showed them 100,000. And then they okay, well, show me $1 million then. You know what I'm saying? It's like, what did I get out of showing him that? Other than, see, I told you. You see what I'm saying? So when y'all learn that you're not really here to validate that, you're here to drop it and keep going, because you're not going to try to waste your time trying to say, watch, well, okay, bet, all right, watch me then. Like, hey, ain't doing all that. Okay? Now, when you understand you can create credit in minutes, why is that? Because your application is what created everything. My application was worth $34 million. Man. I remember applying for things at like $1,000 getting denied because I'm letting them run my credit score and basically telling them how much income I got. And man, I don't have none of those conversations no more. It never goes that way. Credit score don't even get brought up. But one time they asked, what's your credit score? And I instantly let them know, well, credit score is not going to be necessary for this transaction. I'm going to go ahead and provide the full security interest and leverage it and cover the full obligation on both sides. All right, because that's what the trust wants to do. You see what I'm saying? It's about, you got to direct. You got to be a boss, y'all. You can't be no worker thinking you about to direct other people. I didn't do this while I was a worker. I don't know anybody that got results while they were working. I don't know. I'm sure there might be some people out there, but it's almost like a type of initiation you got to do. It's like you got to show the universe, I will quit my job for this. Some of y'all trying to hold on. You know what I'm saying? You trying to, well, I'm going to hold my job just in case. And you wondering why you can't really make no real gains. Because you're living two lives. You got to go cold turkey. The universe rewards those that sacrifice. Okay? Those that sacrifice are the ones that are rewarded. You don't got to work no more. You can get your rent endorsed, your mortgage endorsed, your car endorsed, your credit card. I just posted one of my students was able to literally endorse her credit card. All right? That's one of the hardest things to do. It's one of the hardest things to do. All right? And y'all can think it's a game. Y'all can think, all right, y'all. And then I had somebody tell me this, and it was so sad to hear. It was so sad to hear, y'all. I had somebody tell me, man, I want to tap in, but a lot of your students that get results, man, they look like they broke, man. They look like, you know what I'm saying? And I said, you know what? That's an amazing observation. Why is that? I literally had somebody tell me that. They said, how come all the people that's getting results, they look like they... And I thought to myself, I had to basically go cold turkey for this. Meaning I wasn't having money rolling in while I was at my wit's end. I was at the bottom of the barrel when I was learning this information. You see what I'm saying? It's like I used my last to take that trip to California to go to one of my first consumer law class that I attended as a student. You know what I'm saying? Because most people, it's almost like you have to have your back against the wall. I'm not gonna say it's sad to say because I'm one that had to do it, and I seen how strong I came out of that. But a lot of y'all running from that. A lot of y'all running from that. Would you lose everything to basically gain everything again 10 times fold? Huh? Some of y'all, again, because some of y'all are trying to hold this image up. Do you understand you're going to have to ruin your image? I had to ruin my image. I had to ruin my image with my family. I had to ruin my image with my friends. I had to ruin my image with society. All All right, because trying to hold the image of I got a job, like, no, you got to ruin that. They had to call me crazy before they called me a genius. They had to call me a scammer before they said I was legit. All right, it was no peaches and cream. That's not how it is. You gonna be trying to come and bring this information, somebody they gonna look at you like, what the hell? But that sounds like a scam. Now you gonna have to go through that. Now, do you want to go through that with them? Like, damn, do I want to go through the trials and tribulations of all the rocks I have to go through to get this point across? Okay, you gotta go. You have to. All right. Again, back to why you don't need a job. You don't need a job because that application that you gave for that one bill, that one account. Remember, you've given plenty of applications. All right. So let's start with the first one. Let's start with your biggest bill. Let's start with your mortgage. All right. Let's start with your mortgage. Do you not understand what type of time you're going to have in your hand when you leverage your security interest in your mortgage? Do you not know the type of time I had on my hand when I officially didn't have to worry about rent anymore? It was almost like it was surreal. Again, there was no confetti flags, there was no parties and nothing like that, but it's like, it's different now. And it can't go back. I remember someone trying to tell me, somebody that used to know me, try to say, oh, you up right now, but you a little too cocky, all right? Just because you up right now don't mean you going to be up. I said, I ain't never going to be down again. What? This is a cure. This ain't no quick little fix. This is a cure. This is a cure. All right? This is not something that's temporary. This is lifelong. All right? This is lifetime jumping. And that's why I love stepping on people that think I'm the old guy, whatever they think. And that's why I said you got to ruin your image, family. You're going to have to tell them people, all right, you know my old self. That's my broke self. That's what you hanging on that lets me know you're still broke. I don't even let some people call me by my old name. All right? Only people that call me that's really family members. Even people that knew me, like friends-wise, like, yo, don't call me that no more. Because that ain't me no more. Because I don't want you reminiscing. Like, you remember when we was broke? When we was that? Yeah, I remember all that po-ass shit. Okay? Yeah, I know. I understand that maybe who I am now. But if I knew what I knew now, I wouldn't have done what I would have. We wouldn't be friends. Okay? A lot of y'all are friends with people you wouldn't be friends with, and you're not going to be friends with as soon as you start getting results. Watch how many friends you lose when you get results. Watch how many family members you lose when you get results. It's going to go two ways. You're going to get results, and all them friends and family members that said that they was going to wait on you until they tap in, now you're going to turn around and say, I got my results. Now what? Now they're going to say, can you do it for me? And that's going to be frustrating to you because in your eyes, you really thought they was being truthful. And they nothing but some po-ass folks. I'm trying to tell y'all. Again, no one is going to tell y'all this. Because no one has really gotten results on this level. Not a lot of people. And they can really explain how their family dynamics are. All right? It ain't no damn friends. Okay? Because it's not the same. We'll see if we're friends if you can stay on this path so we can be on the same level. We can't be friends if I'm doing this and you're doing that. You saying, well, that's what you do and this is what I do. Why we can't still be cool? Because we're living two completely different lives. Our conversation gonna be different. You talking about why the long day of work and how them quote-unquote crackers done played with you at work. I ain't hearing that. I'm not hearing that. I'm not hearing that at all. I'm so far removed from race. Oh my goodness. And it's like, so do I sit here and listen to this conversation, or do I protect my energies and say, hey, let me go. I gotta go right quick. I gotta go pick up my daughter right quick. I gotta pick up my kids. Do I stay on the phone or do I rush to, oh damn, my bad, hey, my client calling me. Let me get right back to you right quick. What do I do? Or do I say, well, I'm going to give them a listening ear. You people that do that are poor, okay? You're poor to yourself because you're a rug to other people's demise. You're a rug to other people's self-destruct. You literally are the mat that people use to self-destruct on. Damn! Woo-hoo! Damn, that came together so beautifully. Some of you people are the exact rugs that other people use to self-destruct on. These people don't even self-destruct on their own rugs. They call you. And you get on that phone, I'm here for you. Man. That's why I can't wait till a lot of y'all get results. You're not going to have time for these people that's always going through shit. Let them go through things. I always look at myself like this. Now at this day, what would this person do if I didn't exist? Because people like to say, well, you got the information, you can just help. You're right, I can just help, and I don't want to help. You know how many people would say you're wrong? I didn't know I didn't know by law I had to help. I didn't know that. I didn't know that at all. Y'all, please show me in what law it said we're supposed to be helping each other. Can y'all please let me know what is that? Show me where it says we're supposed to be helping people, others, more than we help ourselves. I'm called a narcissist. I didn't even know what a narcissist was. And then I did my research and I was like, oh, well, yeah, I am a narcissist. This is great. I'm reading positive. Nothing I read is negative. You know what I'm saying? I'm not reading nothing negative. I guess I probably read the wrong definition. I don't think I read the right definition that person wanted me to read. I think they wanted me to read a negative definition. The definition I read was a narcissist is one that put themselves first. And I was like, yeah, I do. I will look at my kids' eyes and say, hey, I come before you. I will look at my women's eyes and say, hey, I come before you because if I'm not good, no one's good. If I'm not good, how can I put everybody on my back? So I come first. Me. Okay, if that's a narcissist, it is what it is. All right. But anyways, back to bills. All right. And a lot of men, I truly feel this. A lot of men will feel this same way when you understand how powerful you are. I didn't feel this power when I was getting 30 minutes to eat. Had to ask to go on bathroom breaks. Grown man going down to the supervisor. Hey, can I run to the bathroom right quick? Hold on, Henry. We got to get you relief. Hold on. I'll let you go in 10 minutes. All right. All right. What? I piss when I want to now. What? I piss and shit whenever I want to. Right? Whatever. Ain't no asking. I remember Dame Dash said that one time. He was like, imagine my kids seeing me call another man boss. And I remember working, I was like, oh my gosh, he's right. What if my kids seeing me whimper to my boss? Man, it's true demasculating leaders. Women do this for men. You need to get a job. Women don't say you need to create. They say you need to get a job. They hiring down there. Go get a job. You go get 2 jobs. She said, my man worked 2 jobs. You know, it's almost like you're the forgotten trophy. Because you're holding everything up with those 2 jobs. But you're forgotten about in society because you really don't matter. Because what you're doing is really not being accounted for. Meaning, on the private book side, you paying the bill, okay, it looks heroic because ADR patients are telling you you're doing great. I don't read patients tell you, hey, you're doing a great job as a man. And I'm telling you as a man, if you're not collecting your interest, You're not doing nothing, boy. I always wanted to say that. You ain't doing nothing, boy. Boy. Man, y'all lucky I ain't white from back in the days. What you say, boy? Ain't nothing more demeaning than telling a grown man, hush, boy. Boy, what you say, boy? Oh my God, that is the most degrading thing you can say to a man. Other than, no, you can't go to the bathroom. All right, other than that, calling a man a boy, oh my God. You got that, boy. Yeah, you're a boy. Any man that don't read contract and going to work and paying bills and sticking his chest out and say, I'm the man of the house, you are a boy. That's what it is. You're not a man. When we turned 18, we were supposed to take over our executor administrative duties. That is becoming a man. Woo-hoo, I'm getting chills right now. I can't wait to talk to my sons. Woo-hoo, I'm gonna line them up. What? You know how some tribes make them go kill a goat to see if they man or not? My boys are gonna show me if they man or not. Let me see you endorse this bill right here, boy. After you do that, I ain't never gonna call you boy again. But until you do that, you a boy to me. No matter if you got married, no matter if you had kids, if you haven't took over a contract, if you have not did your adult business, you are a child. And you are letting the banks parent your account. That's what's going on, family. So again, I'm not here to demean you. I'm here to elevate you. But first we have to break down to build up. You cannot build on faulty grounds. We have to break down to build up. A lot of people ask me, why do you beat down on people so much? Because I have to. I gotta kick all that fairy tale fort house that you got. I'm kicking all that over. Because it's not real. Y'all remember when Snoop Dogg and Baby Boy, he got up and said, man, forget your fort. All right, yeah. I gotta kick y'all made up forts down. Like, man, get this out of here. It's not real. All right, this is real. Let's build a real house with real bricks. All right, real information, real law, real enforcement. A lot of people are building houses with no door, meaning people just walking in and walking out. Demons don't even got to ask to enter. Woo-hoo. Damn. I got to be a pastor. I keep forgetting I'm ordained. I got so many things that I am and I don't even utilize them. All right. But yeah, man, a lot of y'all got houses that only got doors to them. Y'all estate's door is off the hinges. Demons don't even got to ask to enter. All right. Man. You don't need a job, okay? Now let's talk about some acts. The Federal Reserve Section 16 talks about the application being equivalent to whatever it is you apply for. Let me say that again, because that's a powerful part to the Federal Reserve Act. All right, Federal Reserve Act Section 16. All right, it says in Part 2, all right, that in no event shall the security collateral. Congress is literally telling you that your application is a security collateral if you add instructions. I'm going to say that again. Congress is literally telling you that your application is a security collateral if you add a tender of payment, which is instructions. All right. Now, why is it major that your application is a secured collateral? All right, because even if they tell you that this is a security deposit, all right, soon as it touches the bank, it turns into a collateral. Banks can't hold deposits. All right, let me say it again for the folks in the front, back, highs and lows. Banks cannot hold deposits. Okay, Soon as you submit a deposit, it turns into a collateral. That's what a lot of us did not know. And that's how they're able to say, no, you don't have any interest to that security deposit. No. Well, yeah, might not to the security deposit, but yet to the security interest that security deposit created. All right? Because it turned into a collateral. You have to say that C word. All right? Yes, I do have interest in the collateral. Yeah, might not be the deposit, but the collateral, yes. You see how you get, they'll trick you up on the terminologies. All right? You don't got to go to banking school, but you have to understand banking. All right? Soon as you gave your deposit for your lease, guess where it went? It went to the financial institution that works with that property manager. They even tell you in your lease, but you didn't read because you suffer from IDRD. I don't read disorder. Okay? Yes. All right? And the only way to cure an IDR disorder, okay, is to start reading. Okay? Is to start reading. All right? In your lease, they literally tell you where your rent will be held. Because let me ask y'all a question for all y'all that's paying rent. Where do you think your rent is at right now? All right? When you pay your rent, where do you think it goes? It goes into a bank account, family. All right? That is a collateral account. You have interest rights to that collateral. Because if they say you don't have any rights to the collateral, then you can ask them, well, who does have rights to the collateral? And let's say they say, well, we do. That is misrepresentation, family. That is unjust enrichment. Blatantly. They're literally telling you, you can't benefit from your collateral. Y'all got to stop saying, I endorsed the bill. You didn't accept my endorsed bill. Stop saying that. You have to say more meaningful words. All right? I'm making a claim at my collateral. All right? My collateral. I have an interest in the collateral. Collateral. Collateral, 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 collateral. Keep saying it. Collateral. Okay? You have collateral at the bank. You can utilize that collateral and offset your obligations. That's what they're not going to teach in school. Hell, they don't even teach that in banking school. So many people don't know this, family. Regardless of what y'all think of me, y'all better heed this information. All right? So, let's say we understand this now. Now we hearing this information. Oh, damn, I need to go claim my collateral. Now what happens? I've created a three-wave process. All right? I've created a three-wave process. Where literally, if you want us to basically chop down your contract, let's say it's a car contract. Let's say it's a mortgage. All right? I'm going to start off with those two first, then I'll go down the line. All right? And let's say you didn't know this information enough, but you wanted to basically claim your security collateral. This is what I'm going to do. All right? We have a contract review service. All right? I have a three-wave service that I'm going to do on your car. Let's just do a car for instance. All right? I'm going to send them 3 waves. All right? You're going to send me your contract. I'm going to basically dissect your contract, fine tooth and comb. I'm going to break everything down. All right? And then we're going to start to do your claim to security interest on behalf of that contract, family. All right? Now, stay with me. Because, again, think about how much your car is right now. Think how much you have came out of pocket. Hold on to those numbers. I'm going to say that again. Think about how much the car was when you signed. And think of how much money you've came out of pocket. Hold on to those 2 numbers. Okay? It's all going to make sense when I'm done. All right? Now, let's say you sign up for this service. All right? I then break down your contract. I'm going to send my first wave. I'm going to send a wave 1. All right? It's going to be around 5 documentations. All right? Some of the key documentations in that is a claim of security interest, a tender of payment, a bill of exchange, all right, an affidavit of truth. All right? Those is what some of the key documents in my wave 1. All right. All those is basically putting you in position to use your security interest that you gave in that contract, all right, to cover all obligations. All right. Now, we're already banking for that company to either ignore or to say, we don't understand this, we don't accept this form of payment. We're okay with them saying that, fam, because that all that's going to do is roll us over into our second wave. All right. So after 10 business days of receipt that we send them, if they say yay, if they say no, my bad. If they say no or if they don't answer, we're going to send a second wave. All right. I know y'all trying to copy this, trying to look. You're not going to get this. Okay. I literally created this by myself. All right. All right. Y'all can try to hear it. I wish I could teach it simply as fast as I built it. All right. But I was architect at this process. I built this process. All right. Me, hands, feet, blood, sweat, tears. All right. And my chat GBT was able to basically line everything up. Okay. So again, wave 2, after we send our wave 1, now I'm waiting on you to let me know, hey man, so I already sent my first wave out. It's been 10 business days. What do I do next? All right. Now I'm going to tell you, I'm going to send you your wave 2. Your wave 2 is going to be sent to them as well. What's some of the key documents in the wave 2 is an affidavit of non-response. Why are we sending that? It's because we are letting them know that they did not respond to our wave 1. So all the documents in our wave 1 are going with our wave 2. Okay? That's one of the key documents. I'm sending that to you. You're going to send that off to your to the finance company. All right? We're going to wait 5 business days. Okay? Now they're either going to say no or they're either going to ignore. 9 times out of 10 they're going to ignore. All right, so after 5 business days that they have after receipt, you're gonna let me know, man, sir, it's been 5 days. What's next? I'm gonna send you wave 3. Okay, wave 3. Wave 3 is our final wave of our private administrative process. Okay, now our wave 3 is gonna consist of our letter to intent to litigate, because now we gotta let them know. Oh, my bad. The notice to intent to litigate. All right, we have to give them notice that we intend to litigate, letting them know that we've been trying. We've been giving them fair warning, fair opportunity to cure this defect. They have ignored us. All right, this is going to make us look good when we go file our public administrative claim for either unjust enrichment, breach of contract, discrimination, whatever. Okay. But we're doing all this to line up for the court case, all right, what a lot of people fail at. All right, so now we're also going to send a 72-hour opportunity to cure. One last opportunity to cure. We're going to give them 72 hours. All right, so now we're going to count 72 hours down. If they don't say nothing in 72 hours, we're going to basically start our lawsuit, family. And for all my clients that are in this process right now, this is where the magic happens. A lot of y'all are holding this process up. Now, granted, I understand this is your first time doing it. Y'all didn't know, but y'all are asking a billion questions when I'm literally, everything is done for you. You just have to put it there. Literally. Do y'all understand? I got somebody that's trying to shut me down because of this service that I have. I had somebody inbox me and say, I'm an audit. I'm a senior auditor for the ex-senior IRS. You're doing things for people. I'm bringing you down. Like, what? So do y'all not see the type of issues this is creating? All right. Imagine following somebody so long. All right, somebody else. Then you see my page and like, okay, damn, I can just send him my contract. He can break it down. This process is less than damn 30 days. All right. Now, this is for current account. Let's say you had a car. All right. Now we're building our public administrative process. Now we're compiling all our information that we literally took. Right. We sent to them. Everything that they said to us, we're literally recording it, keeping it together. All right. Because after we go file our claim, we need to have a claim. We need to have damages. We need to have jurisdiction. We're going to have all that lined up, family. All you got to do is send the documentation off. Okay? All right? Now we're getting into our second half. This is where a lot of people fail at, okay? A lot of people just think, oh, I sent my documents, but they didn't say anything, so I started another process. Why didn't you sue? Every time y'all see me ask somebody, why didn't you sue? They always say, yeah, I didn't sue. Exactly. So you can't blame nobody. All right. Anytime y'all hear somebody say, man, that stuff didn't work, ask them, did they sue? If they say no, please tell them to shut up, okay? Please. All right, please. If you didn't sue, all right, because now if you sued, you'll understand there's even more to learn after you sue. Because after you sue, let's say you get your case get thrown out like I've had before. All right, case get thrown out for not establishing jurisdiction. Case getting thrown out for not establishing a claim. Case get thrown out for not establishing damages. I remember I thought my case was going through. My dumb ass forgot to put damages. The company did a motion to dismiss for lack of damage. I was like, what the hell they talking about? I ain't worried about that. Next thing I look up, the judge here finds, now grants motion to dismiss for lack of damages is granted. I'm like, damn. I never stated any damages, meaning no harm, no foul. All right? Because how can you win a case if you don't state any damages? You see what I'm saying? All right, so we're helping you with that as well. Because, again, we want you to go all the way. We're not just doing one half for you. We're doing both halves for you. All right? Now we need you to go down to the courthouse. File these documentations to the clerk of court. Okay? You're going to get your case accepted. All right? You're going to tell the clerk of court to serve. You want the sheriff to serve these papers. All right? That way, it's going to be a little fee. You're going to have to pay that fee to him. All right? It might be $25, $40. I'm not sure in your state. All right? But you can get the sheriff to serve these papers. All right? After that, okay, that's when the magic happens. All right? This is where a lot of corporations all of a sudden start answering things. Why? Because now they're summoned publicly. Now that car or that finance company that's been ignoring you this whole time, okay, now they have to answer. And that's why we trying to tell y'all aren't putting them in a position to have to answer. They don't have to answer to you privately. Do you understand they can ignore you? Because if you don't know how to sue, it's like it's nothing happening. All right? Yeah, you can still do this even if the car is discharged. Y'all got to stop asking these type of questions. All right? Hear what I'm saying, because y'all are putting other things on it. I never said if you had the car or didn't have the car. You see what I'm saying? The car is not the collateral. The account is the collateral. Okay? Marshals, sheriffs, it don't matter, family. Just find one, pick one. I'm not trying to be the biggest, baddest. Using the sheriff, paying my $25 so the sheriff can get there. I mean, I'll pay my grandma to send it there. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, I'm just using the sheriff just so I can have a witness from the court that they mailed it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not really even using a scare tactic, because scare tactics is nothing at this point. You know, now I got to prove my points. I got to prove my claim. I got to prove my damages. Okay? A lot of people are asking me, how much? How much? It doesn't matter right now. Okay? Just hear. All right? Because as soon as y'all hear amount, y'all gonna be like, ah. But I got you. I got the amount for you. Let me just kind of show you. Y'all remember that number I said? Remember the number that you signed at the contract, and also remember the number that you owe, or what, that you came out of pocket for? Guess what we're going to add to damages? Guess what we're going to add to our damages? Yes. 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 What do y'all think our damage is going to be? So if the car is $112,000, but I only got 2 more payments to make, do y'all think I'm going to do the payments I made, or I'm going to do what I signed? I'm going to say the amount that's in question is the contract. You see what I'm saying? I'm not going to do, oh, this is what they're saying I owe. No, my friend. What did I sign for? Because that's the security interest that I'm claiming. I'm not doing the outstanding principals balance. I'm doing the original principals balance. All right? I'm doing the full car. I'm doing the full house. If the house is 5.5 million, and if they don't let me utilize my security interest on that 5.5 million, how much is the amount that's in question? What amount is in dispute? That's what you got to ask yourself. All right, that's why I try to tell y'all, I don't do the monthly bills anymore. I don't endorse monthly bills. That's a waste of our time. All right, we're claiming the whole contract. If it's a utility, we're claiming the whole agreement. Before y'all say, well, I don't have a utility contract. Yes, you do. You have an agreement. It's in your emails. Okay? Somebody say, how long is this process? 30 days if you send everything out correctly. Now, if I send you the documentation and you sit and hold them because you can't make it because you're going to work, the process is going to take longer. You see what I'm saying? So, I got some people that and bless her soul, we good now. I had a client, but I still have her now. Like, she started a home process. All right, after we sent our tender of payment, she got her trust. We acquired the property through the trust. We did our acquisition through the trust. All right. After we got to our second wave, I guess, people was trying to tell her things, she came back to me and said, hey, man, sir, you done a great job, but I didn't know that the homeowner isn't going to get paid. And I don't want to do this if it means me cutting somebody out of their payment. Because she was an older woman. She was about 72. So in her heart, she was thinking like, oh, my God, I don't want to get over on somebody. Because somebody told her, oh, my God, you're about to steal that person. You're not. And I had to tell her, like, who told you we're not giving them any money? Because she didn't understand that our claim to security interest was using the money she already gave. Y'all see the matrix? You will think you're not paying something. Even the people that you're giving these documents to, they'll say, well, how am I supposed to get paid? What do you mean how you're supposed to get paid? I'm giving you a tender of payment. You go to a bank and get paid. You tell that bank to go turn this collateral into funding. Because that's what they do all the time. You see what I'm saying? So, but I had to kind of tell, like, no, they are getting paid. We're giving them a security collateral. That's payment. That's value. I had to show her Federal Reserve Section 16 because you got to remember, some people are getting this service that really don't know none of this information. And these type of people are really holding the process up with all these over-the-top questions like, oh my gosh, I'm just scared. Why are you scared? I'm telling you, you're good. Everything we're doing is by law. Are you not reading the documents I'm sending you? I'm literally giving you the game, telling you which rights we're using. It's not like I'm giving you something in a different language. These documents that I'm giving you, you can read this for yourself. After we did this account, you don't never have to hire me again. I'm doing this so you don't never got to come back. All right, I'm not doing this so we can have a long-term client. So you go, okay, now I need another car, I need another car, I need another car. That's not what we're here for. Now, we will do it, all right, but that's not what I'm here for. I'm here so you can see this, like, okay, I need to do this all the time, all right? But that service, for y'all that's asking, all right, for the car, for current cars, all right, for current houses, meaning you're already in the bill, for current leases, meaning you're already in it, all right, it's $2,000 for that process, all right? Now, I'm not done. Now, after we throw your damages in there, remember, we claiming the full contract, right? So let's say you paid $50,000 and the car was $100,000. I'm going to put $100,000 as the money that's in question, and it's going to be $50,000 in damages as well. Excessive, all right, an extra $50,000 because that's how much you came out of pocket. That's how much that needs to come back to the creditor or consumer or trustee or trust. Okay? So now that investment of $2,000 with me is going to get you your money back, family. All right. Now the corporation is going, All right, I got clients that's getting them calls now like, hey, we would like to talk about settlements. I bet so. Y'all know why? Y'all know why it's not a lot of case law out there? All right, because when you do your job correctly, there is no case law. All right? There is no case law. For the fact that a company will even let you get case law on them, that means that they never believed in your process. All right, but when they see your process way before they even get there, they're going to settle. Now, do we bank on settlements? No, because we're prepared to go all the way. I get a lot of people that tells me, after I send this, do you think they'll settle with me? And I try to tell them, don't even think about that shit. All right, because now you're anticipating things to go. No, don't do that. We are planning for the full position. All right. And I see some people on here, for y'all that's been stealing money from people and y'all owe people money, man, give them people their money back, or at least have some damn service for them. All right. I'm getting tired of seeing y'all names pop up, and I got some people that's coming to me and saying that y'all owe them some money. Y'all make that shit right, all right? Because y'all probably trying to come to this page, get a little info, then take it to your page, all right? Listen, we don't got to do all that, all right? Just be right by folks. Even the people that did the ERC with me, all right? I'm still making it right with them, all right? So, again, I'm just telling that for anybody. Like, if you know you owe some people money, all right, or you owe them some type of service or something, just knock the service. Don't even pay the money back. Just do the service. You know what I'm saying? Just do the service. All right. I'm just saying that to say that. Okay. But anyway, all right. So after we get to our court, we add our damage in there. All right. Then the company is going to get the summons. They're going to get all the claims made on them. Right. Next thing you see, the company attorney is going to do a motion to dismiss your case. That is their first swing, family. I've been in the boxing ring long enough to know what their first swing is. All right, their first swing is always, so as soon as that bell goes ding, 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 everybody gets in the middle, the first swing is always a jab. Their jab is a motion to dismiss for either lack of claim, for either lack of damages, for either lack of jurisdiction. That's their first swing, meaning if you can have an answer for their first swing, meaning a counter, if you can duck that first one and throw something quick back at them, oh my God, they not ready. They not ready, family. I seen the company, I threw a jab back at them because they weren't ready for me to answer their motion to dismiss, and they folded. Okay, they folded. After that, they hit me up. All right, they hit me up and said, hey, we would like to settle with you. Because my answer was also met with a counterclaim. You see what I'm saying? All right. When you show a company that you can answer in quick, I'm talking about as soon as you see them answer, you answer same day. All right. It's like clockwork. They're not ready for that because in their eyes, they think they're going to get somebody that's on YouTube or somebody that's just been reading a little bit but don't know everything. All right. So yes, even if you had a car that's repoed, it's $2,000 because I can get you your money back as well. Okay, that's a whole lawsuit. Especially if they took your car, all right. Now we can come and do a UCC. We can do a security interest claim, all right. Rather, if you got the car in your possession or not, you still got the account in your possession. Okay. Somebody said if you do it indigenous, they still have sheriff deliver it. I'm gonna be honest. I just go ahead and pay the fee. You know what I'm saying? The fee's like $40, y'all. You know what I'm saying? You gotta pay to play a little bit, family. Just until you can get those fee waivers understood. And it's something that also I want to tell y'all. I love Atlanta. Atlanta's court system. Oh my God. It's so damn simple. All right. Because I don't know if for y'all that live in Atlanta, I don't know if y'all ever went down to the courthouse in Atlanta. When you go and file a case, you do it on a computer. It's so fast. All right. And now let me tell y'all how to expedite your cases. This is how you expedite your files. After you submit, do y'all ever see that box where it says additional comments to the court? Is this UCC lien on the promissory note? The UCC lien is on the account. UCC lien is on the account. You can't put a UCC lien on a promissory note. You got to put the UCC lien on the account that the promissory note is attached to. The account. Yep. Yeah, I forgot what I was saying. What was I saying before the UCC thing? What was I saying before the UCC? Oh, yeah. Filing it in Atlanta. Just for Atlanta, for example. They got the computers. You can go up in there. It's very simple. It's on the computer. State your claim. Add your documents. All right. They even got a scanner right there. You can just put your documents in there and scan it. I was talking about expedition. This is how you expedite your documents. All right. Before you submit your document, there's always a portion that says additional comments. Right there, you need to let them know this is urgent. And you are receiving financial, I don't know, you can just say, I'm financial distress due to this. All right, that's basically going to put your case priority. All right, letting them know, hey, you're still receiving damage. All right, you have to utilize those additional comment boxes. All right, so that's $2,000 for that process, family. Okay, and you're gonna get your money back. So you're gonna get that $2,000 back when you get all the money back that you came out of pocket. But we have to build a case. We have to build a case. Please don't ask me, do I get my money back now? Do I get my money back now? Come on, family. We got to build a case. We got to get the ruling from the judge or a settlement offer. Okay, that's what we're building towards. All right, so that $2,000 that you're giving me is my time to basically build this with you. All right, now for those that want new accounts, meaning you want a brand new house, you want a brand new car. Okay, now some of y'all are applying for houses, you know, multi-million-dollar houses. All right, not even, it ain't got to be a multi-million-dollar house. I would recommend because understanding and overstanding trust at this point, I would recommend you sign up for our trust service, meaning it's an additional $500. All right, so let's say you find you a house, okay, that you want to acquire. Let's say it's $2.5 million or whatever, okay, and you want to sign up for our service. All right, and you don't have a trust. All right, we're going to charge you $3,000 to build you a living trust. All right, as well as acquire the property through the trust. Okay, so it's a $3,000 package. All right, it comes with a living trust being built, and it also comes with the acquisition for the home, and also the court process if it goes to that point, when it goes to that point, because it will. All right, every person that literally has gotten a home, they had to go all the way, family. All right, they had to sign NDAs. All right, so for y'all that's asking, well, show us the people that got houses. All right, I got one student right now that is fearing for his life. All right, because I guess the banks or whoever he's dealing with has literally started taking pictures of his home. All right, trying to threaten him, trying to scare him, because where he is, I'm not going to say what state he is in, what area he's in, but where he is just not one of those states that you kind of do these type of things loudly. All right, and that's why I've been trying to tell a lot of people, you can't be loud. He's not a loud person, all right, but you got to be careful how you move, family, because everybody does not want to see you move in this manner. I do, all right, but there are powers that may be that don't want to see you do these things. So it's best to move through a trust before you get these high net assets, okay? All right, for sure. All right, for sure. All right, so that's $3,000 for the new house, okay? $2,500 for the car. All right, $2,500 for a new car. All right, same ordeal. We're going to acquire it. All right, rather it's your estate. All right, you're going to push forward. If they decline you, we're simply going to be right into our three-wave process that I explained in the beginning. Okay. Now, for credit cards, for those that have credit cards, let's say you have a line of credit. You want to turn that credit card into a revolving line of credit. Keep in mind, there are going to be NDAs signed, family. Because you're not about to sit there and start telling folks, hey, I got a revolving credit card, y'all. Listen, that's not it, family. That's not it. Okay? So NDAs will be signed. Okay? I just want y'all to understand how many folks are on the right path because of this service. All right? You know how many people that didn't know how to sue? Now all they got to do is sign for this survey. Boom! All right, you know how many people that didn't know how to do their private administrative process because they still worried about, I got to endorse the coupon? Man, we so many levels past that, family. All right? What happens if you don't sign the NDA? Why wouldn't you sign the NDA? Why wouldn't you sign the NDA? Why are you making this harder? Sign the NDA, family. All right? Unless you want to be a whistleblower, you can. All right? But stop worrying about everybody else and worry about your family. You know, sign the NDA so you can make sure you and your family good with that company. You know, yeah, I can be a whistleblower all day and say, hey, y'all, I just got me a $120,000 check from such and such and such. I'm probably talking too much right there. Okay? You see what I'm saying? Sign it. An NDA is a non-disclosure agreement. Non-disclosure agreement. Meaning, when they settle with you, hey, listen, we'll give you your title, we'll give you your money, all right, if you sign an NDA. Because in their eyes, they don't want the world to learn and everybody to come in. I'm cool with that. I don't care about everybody else. All right? Did I sign an NDA? Yes. Why do you think I don't show y'all nothing? All right? Y'all aren't that important to me. All right? No offense to anyone, but y'all aren't important. Y'all aren't more important than me getting my results than it is me validating that I got results. All right. The last thing I showed y'all was that $17,000 check I got like 2 years ago from in court when they said I lost eviction in Grant Cardone's house building. All right. But after that, it was no need to show anything. All right. Because I had people that read that and said, this is fake. I said, how the hell a court document going to be fake? I don't got that type of pull. God damn. You think I called the courthouse and said, hey, put my fake? I'm like, come on. And that's why I started making the phrase, validating things to people with no resources is puny. All right? Yeah, it's 2,000. It's not 200. It's 2,000 for that process. All right? Now, remember, fellas, fathers, we still have those trusts going for 500. Living irrevocable trusts for fathers all the way up to July 1st. All right? July 1st. I will highly advise people get a trust, all right? If you want it built through us, just know, family, all right? We have AI on our side. We have the premium AI on our side, all right? I don't know about these other folks out here that's trying to say, well, all he doing is doing this. I can do the same thing. Trust and believe they can't, family, all right? They can't. It might look like a duck and quack like a duck. It ain't a duck, okay? It ain't. Trust me, all right? It ain't. All right, we're using a premium chat GBT, all right, jailbroken version. I be trying to teach people how to jailbreak, but I noticed something. Y'all don't got it. Y'all don't got the it factor. That's what I had to tell myself. Y'all don't have the it factor. The questions that I be asking my AI, I have to sit back and tell myself like, yo, I can't teach these people to ask these type of questions. I remember one time saying, hey, tell your chat GBT this, you want to move like this. And it's like, I have to remember who I'm talking to. You don't view yourself like that. You see what I'm saying? And I can't live through you. All right? So, yeah, yo, that's why my process is literally sealed and complete. There are no mistakes in this. It's not just me. We got artificial intelligence, too. You see what I'm saying? It's like, yo, hey, I don't know another brand out there that's doing it like us. Who else got a brand say, yo, just give me your contract and we gonna chop it up for you. Come on, man. This next level. This is why we're retired in October. Okay? So we can do more of this privately. Okay? That was the whole biggest reason. That really pushed me more into retirement. Because I said, oh, God damn. I got a lot of people getting houses, a lot of people getting cars. And they're looking for me to have the next instructions, which is cool. All right, let me organize these people. All right, cool. Let me get an empire going. All right, bet. Let's say no more. Have no fear. A leader is here. All right, yo, that's how I'm on. All right, I didn't get pushed out of time because I got tired of doing this. No, it got pushed because I got to see, if I really want to help, I got to move out the damn way. All right, because then people going to say, I know a guy that can get you a revolving credit card. Don't got to do anything. I don't want to be that dude. You know what I'm saying? I want to be the secret. I want to be the I know somebody that knows somebody, but he down in the deep. All right, he worked underground. He is an underlord. Yeah, put them deep negative things on me. Yeah, call me Illuminati. Call me all that. Tell me, hey, I know a warlock. That Nah, I'm just playing, y'all. I'm just playing. All right, but yeah. We have those services. We have living trust services. We have dynasty trust services. All right. We have dynasty trust services. All right. I actually got to start on a dynasty trust. Well, I can finish one. I was supposed to be done with one today. All right. But those are for generational wealth divers. Okay. Understand the difference between a living trust and a dynasty trust. There's two different things, family. All right, and I understand we're talking about a lot of things right now, but all this stuff is together. All right, because imagine all the information that we learned about security interest in the beginning of this live, and then learning how to move with that same administrative understanding with trust. Oh my goodness. All right, and I try to tell people once I learned trust, it was going to be a wrap because I already knew the administrative process. A lot of people that's teaching trust don't know the administrative process. They really don't. All right, meaning if their trust gets dishonored, they really don't know what to do, okay? What do you do after you send in your, after what do you do? You got some people out here that say you can't sue if you have a trust. Like, what? So again, have no fear, I'm here, all right? Dynasty trust, if you want a dynasty trust built, okay, it is $5,000, family. All right, now what comes with this dynasty trust? A dynasty trust meaning after your death, it lasts 100. All right, 100 plus years. All right. For those that's already got a trust set up by us, you got a living trust. If you notice, we added a dynasty clause. Now, y'all didn't even have to ask us for that. All right, we're literally adding provisions for people that they don't even understand that are useful. All right, of course, we're giving you consent and asking your consent and letting you know what's happening, what you're giving. All right, because imagine you getting something built and there's other add-ons on there like, hey, a dynasty trust clause, meaning after you die, your trust will go on for 21 years. All right. Somebody said, can a revocable trust be a living trust? Yes. Only thing about revocable trust is the property can still go into probate, meaning banks can still foreclose on you. All right. Now, if it's in an irrevocable, all right, that property immediately comes out of probate if you administer correctly. All right. Key word, if you administer correctly. All right. But back to dynasty trust. Dynasty trust is for 100 years plus, meaning all the assets that you put into your dynasty trust now, it will be in there for the next 100 plus years. And a dynasty trust is automatically irrevocable. All right. Meaning it's permanent. All right. Now, how do you get the best of both worlds with your trust, a dynasty trust? All right. Because understand with irrevocable, you can't change like the trustees and the successors and things like that. Only if, and write this down, y'all, only if you have a trust protector, all right, or a trust officer, all right? So my dynasty trust has a trust officer, okay? Meaning all dynasty trusts are automatically irrevocable, meaning everything is permanent. But if you add a trust officer, that trust officer can make changes. So let's say there's a beneficiary on the dynasty trust that just goes left and start going against the family morals, business practices, all right, and you want to get them out of there, all right? Now, if you don't have a trust protector, all right, well, I should say this. It will be easy to do that with a trust protector because the trust protector can make changes to the irrevocable trust, okay? Now, again, y'all gonna have to do some studying because I know I'm saying a lot of things right now that you probably don't understand, Okay, just want y'all to know it's going to be well put together. All right, make the revocable can have the irrevocable. What? No, Keely. No. No, delete that whole thing. All right, I never said that. I said a dynasty trust is an automatic irrevocable trust, but the only way you can make changes is if you add a trust officer. Okay, yeah, I thought you had a typo. Yeah, I said, yeah, I'm like, what's she saying? A revocable and then add an irrevocable trustee. Like, nah. But I get what you're saying now. All right, but if you want to basically have your dynasty trust, I would highly recommend y'all, if you want a dynasty trust built by us, to add a trust officer. All right, my bad, Kiki. Kellick. My bad if I'm saying that wrong. How would I know if you have a trust protector? Well, you add a trust protector. You don't have one until you add one. You know, I would kind of like see ChatGPT, who is the best trust officer? All right, a trust officer. Who can I make a trust officer? Me personally, I made a third party a trust officer. I made sure nobody in my family, none of my friends was a trust officer. I made sure I kept that separate. And again, you don't have to do that. You can get a family member, but I got a third party trust officer. All right, but those dynasty trusts now, okay. Again, all assets are good for 100+ years. That's the benefit of a dynasty trust. You don't gotta change nothing when you die. Okay. Another thing, a lot of people is having issues claiming assets on behalf of their dead relatives. Okay. We have to understand these dead relatives' money is stuck in an estate. All right? And you must have a trust set up, all right, to accept those credits. You can't just have a public account to accept those funds, all right? Because remember, those estate funds is from your descendant. Okay? Now imagine having a trust set up, all right, and having that trust to be able to receive those estate's credits. All right, because if I'm an heir to my father, let's say my father passes away, all right, I will come forth and do a UCC1 on his estate. All right, I would do a UC1 on his estate showing that my dynasty trust, all right, is the secured party of that estate because I'm the heir of my father's estate. Okay, now I'm not going to have any issues because now I have dynasty bank, I have a trust bank account. All right, I have a trust set up to be able to receive these credits. All right, and there shouldn't be any issues. All right, now, let's say I didn't have that. And let's say my dad didn't have a trust and his property went into probate. And I tried to fight it without a trust, without any understanding of an administrative process. This is where a lot of people's properties get basically claimed by the state, family. All right, because we are not claiming it right. We don't have our vessels structured correctly to be able to receive our benefits. Okay? Can you help me acquire property if I already have a recognized certificate by trust? Yes, I can. All right. So if you already have a trust, it'll just be $2,000 for you to get that acquired at home because we don't have to build a trust. You already have it. Now we can use trust law. Now we use that trust fee schedule. Now if they deny us, all right, now if they deny us of our rights, okay, we can bring up our trust fee schedule, all right? You can have your trust fee schedule, meaning for any impeding on trust business, it's a flat rate of $2 million. Meaning when we build our case, we can add that in our damages, all right? Because that's almost like our attorney fees. That's like our attorney fees. All right? So those is our fees, family. We don't have them up on our website. These are kind of like private services, to be honest with you. All right, it's kind of a word of mouth. All right, I really don't even want to put this up on my page. All right, but if this is something you're interested in, shoot me a DM. All right, ways of payment: we accept Cash App, we accept Zelle. Okay, Cash App, we accept Zelle. Rarely will we do an Apple Pay. Okay. All right. But if this is something y'all want, let's get started, family. The longer you wait, the longer you try to hold on. Oh my gosh, I don't know. This is all I got. I don't know if I want. You clearly didn't understand everything we just broke down. All right. I just said there's a payday at the end of this. All right. But you got to pay to play. All right. You got to pay to play. You gotta pay to play. All right, you gotta pay to play. What do we call the process? It's the contract review service. If that makes sense. I have a question. Is the 1099 series still $250 for the father special? Yes. All right. My final and my last mentorship, my last public mentorship I will be doing, it will be in August, family. I will be having a mentorship in August. All right. This mentorship, okay, it will be $2,000. All right. It's going to be a 6-week mentorship. All right. We're going over trust. We're going over security interest. We're going over court. We're going over how to utilize AI with all this as well. Okay. All right. And also some hidden information that will be in there as well. All right. That will be my end all be all mentorship. Okay. Make sure y'all stay tuned. All right. If you want to go ahead and solidify your spot for that, you can. All right. It's $2,000 for that. All right. Just let y'all know, we ain't hiding no prices. All right, this is what it is. The faster you get it in, the faster we can get you started. All right, for those that are waiting on us to get your trust back, all right, they will be sent out before Monday. All right, before Monday, I got 10 more trusts I got to do. We've been able to do 156 trusts, y'all. All right, 156 trusts. Okay, that's 156 families that we've been able to help. All right, so don't wait. Don't wait. All right, get it in now so you can start learning what it is that you have. Don't wait. Don't wait the next year. Don't be trying to wait. Well, let me make sure I got all. Man, you got it. Let's go. I don't do no payment plans. I got like 10 of y'all that still owe me money now. Okay, and I'm about to start sending some UCCs. I started sending UCCs. I got y'all government name now. I got y'all addresses now. Alright. So yeah, the number's still going. So that's what it is, family. I'm not gonna hold y'all up. I'm gonna repost this live for YouTube, Facebook. Make sure y'all share this, family. Make sure y'all share, get the word out. Alright? Because the faster people start realizing this information is real, alright, the more normal and traditional it will become. All right. So with that being said, peace, peace, peace. And I'm going to see y'all next time.